Tuesday, December 10th, played the first race at PARX. Um, one of my horses was scratched, a Ferrari Kid, leaving me with only Warrior's Vow, which is the one I preferred anyway. Uh, and Warrior's Vow uh, got off to a horrendous start. Had far too many of those recently. And made a huge run through the stretch to miss by a neck at 5.1 to 1 odds. Such is horse racing. So that was the sad story of Tuesday, and we'll go over and take a look at the bankroll and take the $8 loss uh, with a bitter taste in the mouth. And what we can do is move on to the next race. So for Wednesday, we'll move to warmer climate down to Tampa Bay, and do race number 9 at Tampa, which is a maiden race for older horses on dirt, going 7 furlongs. And my top pick will be number 5, Palace Lights, and my second choice will be number 9, Annulled. Now, Palace Lights raced once before, and that was September 29th at Churchill, going 6.5 furlongs over a good track. Was in a field of 7 and was next to last early on in the race, and started picking up some good ground in the stretch to finish second, missing by 3 lengths at 4.56 to 1. That was a good effort first time out. It was, I have to mention, it wasn't a maiden $30,000 race, and now moves up to maiden special weight at Tampa. We'll discuss more about the potential class of Palace Lights when we get over to the Broodmare sire stats. My other pick, number 9, Annulled, it's a first-time starter, 3-year-old filly by Tappet out of a Broken Vow mare, trained by Todd Pletcher, of course, a top trainer. And looking at the sire report for Annulled, I see Tappet has had 48 previous winners of older maidens on dirt over the last 3 years, and 25% of those 48 came when the distance was 6.5 to 7.5 furlongs, which is nicely above the average of 16, which is in that gray column right under the word distance. My top pick, Palace Lights, is also nicely above average at 23% of 44 previous winners by Palace Malice. The purse column, the purse percentage for Palace Malice is a bit on the lowest side for when the purse is greater than $3,000. But the layoff figure is 129 or 29% above average for getting those 44 maiden winners on greater than 60 days rest, and Palace Lights is going on 73 3 days rest. And Annulled on the sire report, very healthy and not surprising, 58% of the 48 previous maiden winners for older maidens came when the purse is greater than 50,000, and the layoff figure is 192, or nearly double the average for getting those 48 maiden winners to win while making their career debut. So now we go over to the Broodmare sire report, and there we see for Palace Lights is out of a City Zip mare. And City Zip, as a broodmare sire, has had 78 previous winners of this type of race over the last 3 years. Uh, the distance, 23%. It's actually second best among the broodmare sires here. But again, remember the distance variable, it's more important to look at that number for the sire. The broodmare sire, it's more important to look at the purse column and the potential class that these horses may possess. And City Zip gets 22% of those 78 winners when the purse is greater than $50,000. And that's right in the mix with all the the top broodmare sires in this field. Um, the layoff figure is important, and it's 157, so it's uh, meets that criteria of being greater than 150 is really when it kind of I pay more attention. Um, when you're better than 50% above the average, or worse than a layoff figure when it's less than 50, like it is for Sky Mesa, the broodmare sire for the Goddess Factor. You see the layoff figure of 36, and the Goddess Factor is a first-time starter, and Sky Mesa as a broodmare sire is only 36% the average for getting first-time starter winners for older maidens on dirt. So that's a big negative for the Goddess Factor. But we're more interested in an old, the 9 horse, and the purse column there is 23% for Broken Vow, and 71 previous older maidens on dirt came when the purse is greater than 50,000, and the layoff factor is 148, which is very nice indeed. So both sides of the breeding are well above average for getting older maiden winners to win while making their career debut. We'll go over to uh, the trainer report. And there we see for Palace Lights, Timothy Ham. He's had 39 previous winners of this type of race. 10% at this distance category is 6.5 to 7.5 furlongs. Only 5% when the purse is greater than $50,000. So that's a little discouraging, and makes me think that I'm going to be splitting my $8 wager between Palace Lights and an old. And for an old, uh, no surprise to see Todd Pletcher gets 87% of 71 previous winners when the purse is greater than $50,000. And he does extremely well with first-time starters for older maidens on dirt at 277, or nearly 3 times the average. So that's it for Wednesday at Tampa. We'll try our luck with Palace Lights and an old, and hope one of them will get the job done. We'll talk to you tomorrow.